Good. Well, welcome, and it's wonderful to be here at Dunstable on such a lovely day. I've only got a few minutes to talk about the work of the corpus of Romanesque sculpture here in Dunstable. So I'm going to concentrate on the object over there in the corner of the building, which is the font. It's a shame in a way, because there's much else to look at. Obviously the wonderfully carved but catastrophically weathered Tottenham stone west doorway capitals and archivolts, and sort of turning into a Tottenham day, isn't it? But also the architecturally important giant order of the nave arcades you can see here, and the aisle vault supports with their rich assortment of late 12th century Romanesque Mannerist scallop and foliage capitals, and I haven't put them on there because you can look at them for yourselves. Right, the font. In 1852, during the restoration of the South Aisle by George Somers Clark, a fragment of a 12th century font was discovered in the masonry. This became the basis for the present font, which should probably therefore be described as a 19th century font incorporating some original material. In fact, the reconstruction was so carefully carried out that it can be difficult to see the joins. For example, it's clear that this area round here looks original in comparison with what you can see to the left. It looks more worn than the rest of the decoration, and the short vertical rolls here are more weathered. We can also actually see the join there between the old work and the new carving on the roll moulding. Now the font has got a few distinctive features in its decoration. At the top here, this elaborate palmette, and you'll not only have to remember these from what comes afterwards, but I'm reliably informed that there's going to be a short test. This form of fanlight decoration, which we tend to call dart ornament, this bold vertical fluting, and this heavy cable or sometimes chevron moulding. I'll ask you to remember what they look like while I tell you that I bet you can guess what the stone is. Now, these features are typical of a group of Tottenham fonts dating to around 1180 called the Aylesbury group. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. This is Little Missenden in Buckinghamshire, and you can see the dart ornament round the top, the fluting, and the palmettes on the base, and a very heavy cable roll. And if we look at a few more of them, we'll see the same features recurring over and over again. And these are figures we see on that font over there. What we don't see on that font over there is the characteristic chalice shape, the shape of the bowl. Our font here is a tub. The Aylesbury group are found in a fairly restricted area of Buckinghamshire around the Bedfordshire border. Most of them are in Buckinghamshire to the southwest. Dunstable you can see towards the top right, along with a few others in Bedfordshire, The quarry at Tottenham is there. And the nearest Aylesbury font to Dunstable is at Houghton Regis, just 11 minutes away by car, by the best route, and despite the usual traffic. That's the Houghton Regis font, and it might look vaguely familiar. I should point out that it's not chalice-shaped, but tub-shaped. The elaborately carved Aylesbury group of fonts were not all as smart as the core group of about 7, including the ones I showed you earlier. Others used the same motifs, but more crudely carved sometimes, some very simplified, some even in a different stone, as if the work of the main sculptor at Aylesbury, at Little Missenden and so forth, the work of the main sculptor was perhaps copied by several more or less competent imitators. Here are Houghton Regis and Dunstable side by side. The decorations below the rim are identical, as are the paired vertical rolls dividing this top register there and there, these paired rolls. The dot ornament is the same, the fluting's just the same. So it looks as if George Somers Clarke, looking for some guidance to make some sense of the fragments he had found, had a model close at hand. No car in 1852, but if you take a shortcut through Dog Kennel Walk, you can do it on foot in half an hour. Of course, matters might be even more entangled, because originally, in the 1180s, it may be that the font at Houghton Regis was copied from this one at the Priory, fortunately surviving to repay the compliment in 1852. Thank you.